You're tuning in to the Black Hollywood Live Network, featuring news, interviews, and commentary on all things Black Hollywood. Hollywood redefined. From Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is Black Hollywood Live. Just saying, featuring conversations on love, sex, and relationships from three sassy ladies. Black Hollywood Live. Hollywood redefined.
You're listening to Black Hollywood Live.
And now, the host of Black Hollywood Live, Just Saying.
Hello, everyone. We love our theme song. We can't help but dance. Shout out to Big Shiz. Thank you and welcome. Welcome, viewers. I have my lovely co-host with me. I have April Daniels.
Hello.
Miss Diann Valentine.
Hello, everyone.
And we just saying. That's what we doing. We just saying. So we have a good, juicy show. But speaking of juicy...
It's Friday night.
It's Friday. Yes. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
April has her juice box.
I have my sippy cup in a fancy glass.
These are our... how does it taste? Candy apple martini.
What is the little kick in that? Because I don't have no kick.
Oh, I got a nice little kick. She got a kick.
I don't have no
good.
Kick.
This is Fireball. See, Fireball is that cinnamon whiskey. It's cinnamon whiskey, which gives it that candy. You know, the candy on the apple is a cinnamon hard candy, so it kind of gives it that candy.
You could have put a cinnamon ball candy in my drink.
Listen, Linda,
but she didn't.
You lucky you got your own little separate situation.
I'm lucky I got an apple in there.
Shoot, this is easier than that. I'm like, oh dang, now I gotta get the fixins and make April something.
Thank you for my sippy glass.
She got red. And you have a special glass. You see, you got the little stripes.
I have the stripes. I have the virgin.
You
glass.
have the virgin glass. The virgin. So how was everybody's week?
Good.
What you do?
What haven't I done? Everything rock out with me. That's what I've been doing. Still gearing up for my event.
Shout out, sure. Yes. You have your casting call.
I do. I have so much going on. I don't know what I'm doing. Ladies, I'm having a casting call this Saturday from 9 to 11 at FD Studios, and that's located downtown. You can go on my Instagram or my Twitter and get all the information. Must be 18 years or older, and we want all women, everyday women. You don't have to be a runway model. We want real women
tall,
to come
short,
down.
curvy, slim,
whatever. It doesn't matter. Come
and that's tomorrow. You said Saturday, so it's tomorrow.
Today is Friday. Yes. And if you have not registered for your Rock Out With Me weekend, make sure you do that. I don't
know about that.
Yeah, it's in Atlanta.
You know about it.
Yes.
The first one.
Yes.
Okay.
And the link for tickets is on my Twitter and also my Instagram, and that is I am April Daniels. So join me.
Yes.
Join me.
It's going to be fun.
Yes.
We'll be there.
Christina Johnson's going to be there from
nice.
Hollywood Exes. I have Breedley Evans from Being Mary Jane.
This is your Atlanta one.
One. Yes. So ladies,
it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great event.
Yes.
Good event to kind of bond and just share as sisters, because women need women.
Women need women.
Women need women.
Yes. And Miss Valentine.
I have had a busy week. I spent the first part of the week in DC on a site inspection. Hennessy is celebrating 250 years.
Yes.
And so they're doing a huge celebration in DC, and they called on me and they brought me in kind of as a creative director to design the space and to design the experience for the night. So that's been a great week.
But that's awesome.
It's awesome. It's been a great week. It's been an incredibly busy week because the event is in June.
Is it here in LA?
No, it's in DC.
Gotcha.
It's in DC, and I have a week to design it and present next week in New York. So you know I'm a little like,
I know you're like,
how long we gonna be away?
We got 1 hour. 1 hour, and I'm not gonna get into. We're gonna get into our show, but I do want to shout out my cousin, my real cousin. Today is his birthday, Ty, and Ty is in Australia.
Happy birthday, Ty!
Yes, and he's listening from Australia. And it's morning there. So happy birthday, Ty. And we're gonna get into our show because we have a juicy. I can't even say it. It's so juicy. It is about, we're going to be talking today about being exposed. That's the title of our show. And we're going to be talking about sextortation. I hope I said that right. What is it? Sextortion. Cyber stalkers and catfishing. And a lot of people don't know what catfishing is, but I'm going to read the definition. According to the Urban Dictionary, a catfish is not something you serve on the side, fried with tartar sauce, hot sauce, and some grits. This says a catfish is someone who pretends to be someone they're not, using Facebook or other social media to create false identities, particularly to pursue deceptive online romances. And speaking of deceptive,
Counterfeits.
online all day long.
Fraudulent.
Yes, frauds. We're gonna start it off with Manti Te'o. And he's got a really interesting name. I think it's a Hawaiian name. I hope I pronounced it right. But that was a big story. Y'all remember that?
That was huge.
Really big. Yeah.
And I felt so bad for him.
And listen, that story was...
It's controversial, though, because people don't know if he was in on it or he was, kind of cyber bullied and catfished. They don't know.
Yeah.
But we want to believe the best.
Yeah, because he just really looked so sincere and so broken up and so sad. And I get it. If you are somebody who's a recluse and not really outgoing, online dating is a great way to meet somebody. You can kind of hide behind your shyness until you meet them live and in person. So I can see how that can happen.
Yeah. What do you think? And look, we didn't even give any he's a linebacker now for the San Diego Chargers. And I know he got a lot of flack for that story.
He did. But look at him. Don't he look like a little timid young man?
How you gonna be timid and run people down for a living?
But you know what he does for a living.
Is a linebacker. Timid and linebacker don't go together.
What he does on the court or on the field can be completely different than how he is every day.
Could be, but the thing is, he had conversations. The relationship lasted a while, and he said that he had talked to her. So who was he talking to?
Now, who was it? What was her name?
Because I don't even know the chick's name, because she's got one of them Leilani, some kind of funny names. What is it, Sheree? Our producer. It is Lene. But she didn't exist.
Well, she existed.
Well, this girl,
person
but
that
not
he was
right.
Exactly.
But
this story was just it had so many different parts to it that it was kind of hard to keep up with it, because for a minute I thought I was being catfished with him, because I thought it was true, and then the next minute I'm like, well, wait a minute, she's made up, and then I'm like, well, wait, the friend was the one that made the whole thing, and so it had a lot of twists.
It was a guy friend who kind of, I guess, took this person's picture because he knew her. The guy that perpetrated the fraud and pretended to be Lene knew this girl. So that's how he was able to she was a private user on social media, so he was able to grab her pictures from that.
Okay, which would make sense. If she's private, then everybody can't get access, so it's a little harder to, crack the story.
That's right.
But what I thought was just even like the effort and the energy that this individual put into it, because he had her pass away on the day of his grandmother that actually died. Yeah. So I'm like, who goes through? Who does that? Yeah.
And with friends like that,
you don't need no enemies, honey,
at all.
That had to be completely devastating.
Yeah.
Because you're dealing with the death of your grandmother, and then you're dealing with the death of this girl that you have really fallen in love with and developed feelings for.
Which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because I need to touch you.
Yeah, I really can't fall in love with you as a pen pal. Yeah.
See, I'm not
like we're in prison somewhere. You gonna write me next week?
Right.
I need some affection.
See, but with us, it's emotional. So I would imagine with women, it's probably easier for us to get emotionally involved.
Yeah, but even for men, it's
I think men are far more emotional than we think.
And physical.
Yeah.
Okay, it's only so. Listen, girl, I done sent you a whole case of pencil, number 2 pencils. Like, I need to see you. We can't be writing. So it's kind of weird when
know.
it's gotten this far and it's all behind a computer.
And then to find out, because remember he was saying that the dad was interviewed and said we had met the girl and he talked to her.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's why it was so many twists.
Daddy was in on the line.
Wait, and I think what happened, either it's one or two scenarios.
I need a drink.
It's either for some reason he was in on it. This is a speculation. This is the speculation is that the dad, they were in on it. Maybe not the dad was in on it, but the guy, the football player, Manti Te'o.
Right.
Dang, that's a hard name. We're going to call him Man. Can we just call him Man?
No, just do Te'o.
Manti Te'o. There we go. So we'll say Te'o. So they think he might have done it for publicity. And duped everybody. And
wow.
Now that's one theory, but the other theory was he just was caught up. He was caught up and to save face because he was so into this girl.
See, that's what I think.
He had to think about it. If I told you I was in love with somebody, I'd been dating her, my fiance for a year, and I had never met them, you'd be like, seriously?
True.
Because he just don't seem that slick.
Yeah.
That he can just pull out a lie.
And
like that.
The only thing that makes me a little reluctant is he had a lot of publicity already going for himself. He was the Heisman Trophy.
He was a star.
Yeah, so
star.
I don't know why you needed more attention.
Yeah, he don't look like, when you look at his face, he don't look like somebody to do that.
Don't ever judge a book by its cover.
But you can't. But to me, he doesn't look like somebody who would.
Don't ever
But
judge
you
a book.
can. But you can.
You definitely can. He
That's
might be
real.
the biggest freak that's
Right.
out of the Mississippi.
Right.
Had this whole thing orchestrated. You
never know.
You
we
never
don't know.
know.
But we're gonna move on to another story. Y'all remember the Bow Wow?
Yes.
The infamous, and that was actually on the show, on the Catfish show.
Yes.
And do you know what happened with that?
Yeah. I'm familiar. Yes.
Well, share with our viewers. So let's fill them in.
Okay, so apparently it was this young lady, and she had posed as him with another young lady, and it ended up that she wasn't Bow Wow. The lady, the one girl thought the girl who's posing as Bow Wow was actually Bow Wow, and somehow the story got exposed, and he ended up feeling honored and privileged that someone would even go as far to act like him.
We're going to read that statement.
Yes, I think, read his quote.
He says, I feel honored. It's dope and it's fly when someone wants to be you. And not only they want to be you, in their mind, they are you. That's crazy, but I like it.
Super crazy.
That's what the quote is not finished, honey.
Yeah.
I ain't saying it's crazy. He's like, that's
saying,
crazy, but I like it. It's free promo for myself.
Yeah.
That's great.
And he even went as far as having them come on the show. Yes.
Right. Now, this was the victim,
well, that's
right?
the one that got duped. Yes, that's the one that got duped.
What's so crazy?
That's Bow Wow.
That's what's her name? D something.
D.
Something D. Fresh
D pimpin'.
D pimpin'.
Lord have
D
mercy.
pimpin'.
D pimpin'.
Because what's even crazier about the story is that this young lady here is she transgender or is she just gay?
I think she's gay.
So
and
she's gay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So she's not even a man. Right? She's not even a man and she's posing as a man. So it makes me think, did they ever have a conversation?
Well,
my
understanding was that she was a rapper and she was always compared to him at a young age.
Right. Now,
so that's where the fixation came with.
She was
the
a
whole
fan.
Bow Wow.
What I'm saying was Pimpin' D ever talking to the chick she was fooling. Because Pimpin' D is a woman.
But wait a second.
No, but she was using pictures as Bow Wow.
Yeah,
But
so we don't know if they
physically talk on the phone.
Listen, they got all type
I
of
would imagine
you
she
know that thing
did.
you hold to your
Okay, MacGyver.
But he doesn't have a real deep voice. So I could see her kind of, faking the phone.
can't see
and
any
then
of that.
Then she sent the chick
a lot.
$10,000.
Now, that just blew my mind.
So
away.
the girl was like, "Oh heck yeah, this is Bow Wow,
Right.
It's my new dude." Can you imagine? So
I
then
cannot.
she called the show Catfish, and this is what
they discovered.
Yes. How would you feel if you were that dude? Like, you feel like you have these feelings. It might not be in love, but you definitely have these feelings for somebody.
Well, I'm going to just say this. If I feel like I have to call Catfish, I think I'm just done with the situation. I don't think I'm going to actually have Catfish come to my house, the two guys.
With cameras.
And say, like, if you really feel that strongly that you have to call them, it's almost like if you have to call cheaters, 9 times out of 10, it's cheaters.
Right.
So,
We know.
I don't know. But the flip side for me is I don't know if I would be honored that someone went as far as this to duplicate me, to be me. That's scary.
I think,
Like,
I am definitely not honored that
because
you would be me.
this was a story that didn't go really wrong like it could have.
Right.
So what about if it did take that left turn somewhere and it didn't end up cute and funny and a guest with 106
Right.
Absolutely.
See, that's the thing. You gotta be a little more. I'm thinking, well, Bow Wow was, this was a couple years ago, so we'll chalk it up maybe to age and just, just not really understanding what it could have been, because you definitely don't want to condone it. Yeah. She's like a celebrity now.
Yeah.
They've been on 106 in
She's a
Park.
local celebrity.
She's a celebrity. On her Facebook.
Right.
I went to her Facebook today. It said she's promoting the fact that she was on Catfish. But don't hate me. That's what it says on the bottom.
Young people. Because you know what this reminds me of? Like the other young lady, right? She really thought she was talking to Bow Wow, right?
Yeah.
And to find out, not only was she being fooled, but she was being fooled by a young lady who is a lesbian.
Yeah.
But how many hate crimes do we hear about? How many really bad incidents do we hear about?
It could go really
where somebody
bad.
like is killed or
Yeah.
beat up really bad because they're transgender, transsexual, or they're gay. So this could have gotten real ugly.
It could have gotten real ugly.
Yeah, and that's what I mean, that left turn.
You lucky you just got a pass, boo.
Yeah, D pimping. D pimping.
It should be C pimp because she ain't got a D. But okay, that's another story.
Lordy Jesus. But at least, with her, because I can't imagine that. I'm sure she was devastated. And I read that. It said that she was devastated. But, it's nice that she got to meet Bow Wow.
Actually,
yeah.
But,
She looked like she about to scoop him up.
yeah, she
Put him in her pocket.
look like she want to lift. Look, she got both hands around her.
He's like,
Yeah. But good for him for making her day, or making a happy ending
For
to a
making
bad
her day.
situation.
However,
Yeah.
I think, D... C Pippin. C Pippin should have been at home somewhere. All right, now I have actually been a victim.
I remember this fool.
She didn't tell me this story.
Look at here.
Now I'm gonna have a drink of my sippy juice.
I remember this fool.
Go ahead, girl. What you remember?
I'm gonna let you go on and tell about it. Because let me tell you.
All right.
When I talked to him,
This is Mr.
You talk to him?
yes.
Yeah, she
So
talked
you
to
go
him.
first, and then we gotta hear
right.
Diane's side.
This is Mr. Vernon Davis.
Okay.
So, superstar athlete. And it's crazy because I don't know athletes unless you got your own shoe. And I know the shoe. And then, he's one. So, I didn't know who he was. So, I got a call from my publicist saying that, hey, Vernon Davis, reached out and he wants you to come to a game. And I said, I don't even know who that is. I said, and I hate football. I'm not going, I've been there, done that.
Yes.
Married to a football player, played football. I'm done. So I said, no. I said, well, you know what? Just respectfully decline and just say, thank you. So then it was funny because that was on a Friday. And I was invited to come see him play in San Francisco. He was going to provide ground transportation.
Yeah, but wasn't to the game you was going.
See, that's what's scary right there.
Yeah,
So
you been in the basement,
hello,
handcuffed to the
in pieces. Lord have mercy, I'd have been in pieces.
What?
And that's the Negro I got.
Bamboozled by.
Mm-hmm. That's yes. They should. I think y'all showed the picture too soon. That was a little anticlimactic. However, let me finish the story. So what happened was I declined. I declined going to the game, and then I saw another friend of mine the next day who works with a lot of athletes and stuff. So she's like, "Oh my God, Sheree!" I said, "Do you know who Vernon Davis is?" She's like, "Yes." She's like, "He is such a nice guy." And I told her, she's like, "No, you should totally go to the game." I was like, "Well, I can't go to the game." I said, I have plans, but I can't go to the game. She said, "Well, keep in contact with him." She said, "Because, he owns an art gallery, you paint." She's like, "That would be a good connect and a good friend for you." Cool. Hit the publicist back the next day. And I said, "Hey, listen, or a couple of days later, because it was the game, it was Monday. I said, just, pass along my information." So he called immediately. And we talked on the phone. Child, we talked on the phone for about a week and a half. For hours, and I'm not even a phone chick.
Practice right now?
No, he had practice. He would have to go, look, I'm going to practice. Fool had me watching a game he didn't even play in. You're like, where you at? That's a good play, Vernon. Fool had me watching football.
That's my buddy.
the level and the layers of deception, crazy. And the day you talked to him that day because I was getting ready. Diane came over.
She supposedly had a date with the fool.
I was gonna meet him. He said to me,
"There wasn't nobody but the Lord."
Hello, but wait, and then had the nerve to be spiritual.
Oh, not you
Talking about
the Lord.
Oh no, it was crazy. The layers of deception were absolutely insane.
Wow.
So, supposed to meet, he comes to LA, want to meet you. I said, well, I have a birthday party to go to, but I can meet you a little earlier. So anyway, decide to go to dinner. And he's like, anywhere you want, just pick the place. And I said, okay, let's do, 7:30, such and such a place. So then he responded back, well, they can't do 7:30, but we have an 8:15 reservation. The friggin' level of deception. This man ain't even in the state. He calling from Georgia. On a home line. Okay, so then we're supposed to meet. So a couple hours before we're supposed to meet, phone call. His grandmama died. This joker had me praying for the family, pleading the blood of Jesus over everybody.
Were you there then?
You had
party by the time Grandma passed on.
But can I tell you?
But I got some looking for when I got home.
This joker sounded so convincing and just like he was grieving. I mean, he was tough about it.
But I'm gonna tell you, I got a sign.
How come you didn't tell me you had a damn sign?
Because I never want to be Debbie Downer.
What was your sign?
I never want to be every day. So Sheree said, talk to my friend. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to this dude. But
right.
Okay. Hey, Vernon, how are you? I'm trying to be nice. And see, at the time, Sheree had met somebody else.
Oh,
that she was considering dating, right?
Yeah,
I thought she met somebody else, right?
She telling all the
This is your story.
But if you like me to.
If you want to get detailed, I can.
See what happens when you get
live stuff ain't no damn joke.
So she had met someone else, and he knew that she was interested in someone else, right? And so he says to me, "So what's up with this dude she's interested in?" I'm like, "What do you mean? He's really nice. He's nice and regular guy." He was like, "Is he paid?" And I said, "What? Like, does he have some money?" I'm like, why does that matter? Right? And he's like, cause she needs somebody that's paid. She ain't trying to just hang with no regular dude. And I was like, okay, well, let me give you Sheree back because
even if you weren't
have to
you
get
done
on
messed
my
up
nerves right now because anybody with some money don't behave that way.
Yeah. They ain't
wait. I know some Negroes with money that behave that way. That for me wouldn't have been a sign. But maybe you felt because he was gonna close down Neiman's for me. I said, boy, please. Oh, this joker said, that's how I roll.
See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna close it, and I was like, but I was like this.
I could probably close down Neiman faster than he can. Because I've done it for Miss Braxton.
I think we all can close down Neiman faster than he can. Girl, so the grandmama died. Lord have mercy.
He just had a terrible
he's
day.
all distraught, and now he's got to go fly back to DC or wherever the grandmama's from and be with family. And I said, I'm so sorry. He's like, and Sheree, I am so sorry for messing up your night. Please forgive me. But that seemed odd to me.
Yeah.
That was a red flag. Like, you know what I mean? Like couple hours before we're supposed to meet, you know what I mean? Like your grandmama died. No, I mean, people die at any given time. But then there was another.
Wasn't even sick. She wasn't even in the hospital.
You got to understand, I only talked to the man for like a week plus, so I didn't really know the ins and outs of his family, but he was funny. He was so much fun to talk to. Funny, smart, you know what I mean? Had that little street thing happening. Yeah, a little too much of the damn street thing. However, so
he wasn't funny to me calling my friend a gold digger, damn it. Fool, she ain't no gold digger.
Gold digger?
I mean, basically,
he just said, like, she's one of them women that want.
How many flags did you get?
That want something. So can we show the picture? Oh, okay, wait. Let me tell you what happened. Okay, let me tell you what happened. So, a couple days later, he's in D.C. with his grieving family. I done sent the boy prayers. Pray for me, pray for the family.
A bleeding heart you done sent to the house.
Lord.
You done sent a funeral wreath.
They like, we don't know who this person is.
That's terrible. Wait a second. So, a couple days later, it just hit me. I was like, I said, you know what? Send me a selfie. He's like, a selfie? I said, yes, send me a selfie. I ain't heard from the brother since. So let me tell you what I did. A friend of mine, Daphne Wayans, thank you, Miss Daphne. Daphne said, Ree, you got to do a reverse number search. So I do a reverse number search, and it like
Otis Smith.
It said like he had a deep voice, so it was kind of mumbled. And I'm like, well, what is he saying? I don't know what he's saying. So then we did the reverse number search, and it was clear. What's his name? Louis Vincent Sills. Louis V. Sills. So I said, well, let me look up Louis V. Sills. Can we see what? That's what I got. 4 damn mugshots.
Mugshots.
He's been arrested multiple times.
And guess why he's been arrested? First article up for impersonating an NFL player in 2005, and he served jail time.
So he's still doing it.
He's still freaking doing it.
So did you call the
I called the
authorities?
police. Yes, I did. And I feel I did a police report. I don't know what happened with that. I don't think they ever. So the good thing is I got a show. And I can put his ass on blast. Stop doing that. Don't do that to nobody else.
That's
Louis,
not nice.
You need to set your tired black ass down.
Louis Sills. Yeah, he does. Louis Sills.
Look, that last shot, he like again.
And look, you can tell he's puffy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's.
Yeah.
So what was crazy is my first red flag is we were talking, and this is a professional athlete. This is a superstar athlete. He was winded. So I said, well, what are you working out? He's like, no, I'm just walking to my car.
What did you run? Kentucky Fried Chicken. What did you run?
Fried chicken eating ass. Okay, we need to move on to our next story. Lord have mercy.
Beware.
Yes, beware. And you know what? You can do selfies. You can do, what is it? Skype. You can do FaceTime. Yes. Yeah, because people can really be anybody. They can hide behind anything.
Yeah.
So we want to now talk about,
Shampoos.
and you have a story for us. Bad business bullies.
Yes.
And businesses and defraud us all the time, make claims that they don't keep. So share your story.
Well, I think whenever I'm on television, right? So whenever I'm in a show, I get a taste of what it must feel like to be famous because, I used to get like tons of letters from prisoners and from inmates and, people would stop by my office and just drop in and like, hey, I was just looking for Diann Valentine.
I'm a little confused. So you got letters from inmates?
From inmates.
What was they saying?
Well, like early publicity, whenever I would get, somebody would print
These
an
are
article.
male inmates?
Yes.
Trying to get at you.
They would print my office address. And I would get tons of letter from correctional.
You got one from C.
Facility.
Pippen? No.
or LV.
LVS. We don't need to give him no more publicity. No, we do, because people need to know what his ass looks like.
Beware of that food. Right? So again, it was one of those times where I've just finished Wedding Day on TNT, and I happened to be doing Monique's house. Like comedian, actress Monique, I did the interior design of several rooms in her house. And so when I finished it, or while I was in the middle of it, a woman calls me. And she calls and she's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. I live in Chicago. I'm looking for an interior designer. I'm like, okay, great. We start talking, and she starts telling me about our house, and it's 30,000 square feet, and she's got this and she's got that, and she has a roundabout in the front, but she needs something to protect her getting into the house. So we started talking about porte-cocheres and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, she's talking right, sounds good. And then she's like, well, I was really hoping I could get a couple of references. And so I said, okay, sure, that's fine, no problem. And so I was doing Monique's house, and so I said, Mo, do you mind if someone calls you, as a reference? Or I said, do you mind calling someone else? Like, I didn't want to give out her number.
Right.
And she said, oh, no problem, sis, I'll call, no problem. So she calls the woman, talks to her, tells her, Diann's great, amazing, whatever, you'll be real happy. And so then after that, the woman called her like 4 or 5 more times.
What?
Right, and Mo would be like,
the guy done told you everything.
Yeah, and afterwards she was like, look here, bitch. Don't you call me no damn Mo now. And then she called me like, Diann, who is this woman you got me calling?
What do you think she wanted, though?
Well, come to find out, I did a little bit of research because she started saying stuff like, okay, well, the builders are still working on the house, but, we're getting close, so I'm just going to send my private jet for you.
Oh, stop.
Wait a minute. Rich people don't do that. Rich people don't do that.
No.
They might get a ticket.
Rich people don't do that.
Gas
They don't do that.
Just come and get you.
And I've had clients send their jets to come pick me up, but not at a first meeting.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm talking like second, third, fourth. Like you're in the
Once you're
2 months
in.
right
Once you're in.
Right.
Exactly.
And then they say, Diann, a jet's coming, just hop on that, and it's coming to the separate city. That's normal.
Yeah.
So this ain't normal. So when she said jet, I'm like, first red flag.
Wow.
Right? And then, so what is the budget for furnishings? And she's like, I'm thinking $4 to $5 million. Second red flag.
Shut up.
Second red flag, because people don't talk that kind of money over the phone. They do not talk that kind of money on the phone. So I did my investigating, right? Where her number from. I had a friend who worked at AT&T, found the phone number, ended up calling the number that had been calling me that was an unknown number. A woman answers, and I says, hello, this is Diann Valentine. I'm just calling to speak with so-and-so.
Yes.
And she's like, why do you want him? And I said, well, who's him? She said, that's my son. I said that. Wait, hold up, Henrietta. Hold up. You said that Jessica or whatever the woman's name was is your son. She's like, yes, that's my son. I said, okay. So let me explain to you what's been happening. I told her he's been calling.
Yes.
He has this 30,000 square foot
So
home.
it was a boy?
It was a boy, but he had one of those unisex names like Ryan or something like that, right? And so she said, I am so sorry. She said, I am so embarrassed. I cannot believe that my child has been going on with this lie like this. And I told her, I even, gave her the number to one of my celebrity clients, and he'd been talking to her, blah, blah, blah. And she said, I promise you, Miss Valentine, you will never hear from him again.
Look at that. But did you ever think, like, why you? Because I had to ask myself that. Like, of all the people on the planet, why me?
Because I'm special.
I know that's right. But listen, I'm not special.
I don't want to be that special. I don't want to be special no more. Are you cyber stalker? Diann Valentine across all social media platforms.
If you go to I Am April, just quickly go to Diann Valentine.
I don't know what behooves people to do stuff like that.
And then,
That's
like,
just
with
crazy.
this guy, what did he want?
Yes,
No
what
one's
he wanted
exempt.
to do.
That was a child.
Yeah, right.
Like, you think
That's
this is
crazy.
adult
Like
behavior?
crank calling.
Like,
He like crank calling.
But wait a minute. Speaking of children, how old was this guy?
I didn't ask how old, but it was.
Speaking of children, did y'all hear about, and let me get her name right, Cassidy Wolf. And she is Miss Teen USA? Miss Teen USA. And she was in college. She was catfished by a 19-year-old.
I did hear about this.
Who basically, they call that's the sextortion.
Right.
He rigged her computer. He had a program, because I was thinking, like, how did he have access to her laptop? But he had a program, and I guess you can buy this program, which is crazy. They need to outlaw the program. So he had a program. He had, they said, about 150, they call it something slave, like he's watching them on computer.
Wow.
He's in their bedroom, and then what he's saying is, okay, he sent her an email with naked pictures of her. Like, yeah.
give me more.
And give me exactly. That's exactly what he said. Give me more
Or else.
or else. Joker was 19 years old, and they said he has autism, and
He ain't-
but
He
still.
ain't that daggone crazy.
He was in college.
That fool is
He
a
was in
computer
school with
engineer
her.
is what he is.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Yes.
Exactly. They were in school together. But how scary is that?
Yeah, that's
insane.
just.
But I tell you what, law enforcement got something for his ass.
Oh yeah. Well, he's behind bars, honey. He's behind bars.
But did y'all see him fall out in the courtroom?
No, I didn't see that. It got real to him all of a
When they
sudden.
announced his sentence that he was getting 18 months, I mean, he broke down like boo-hoo.
I love it. I need to watch that.
Crocodile tears like fell out all over the table.
I want to watch it. I know that's not kind. That's not godly, but I do want to see that.
No, it was some good entertaining TV.
I do want to see that.
It was the best reality TV
So let me
I've
ask you
seen.
something. In this age where, it's like all this technology, husbands traveling.
I know where you're going with this.
You traveling.
Yes.
You
plead the fifth.
You ever take any cute little pictures?
Nope.
Or do some things?
Say no, because if you say yes, all
Somebody
the
gonna
hackers
hack
gonna be trying to get into your stuff tonight.
Y'all know they freaks though. So I would bet my house.
I ain't never did nothing.
Well, what's this one time in band camp?
But let me ask you, are there like some previous things floating around?
Previous? Like with other people?
Yeah.
With me? Oh, no.
Okay.
No,
See, I don't do that.
So you can't be out there just
Don't
servicing the whole
nobody.
world.
But I'm saying, like, you with somebody you think is love, you gonna spend the rest of your life, and
That's like getting a tattoo of a dude's name on your body.
I've done that.
Dumbass.
Wait!
If it don't say
Hey, listen.
That's the only tattoo we endorse.
Listen, that's another show. Damn it! I've already told of my little escapade. I felt so damn stupid.
I know you did,
I
lady.
did feel stupid. I was like, oh my god, because I don't think I'm a fool. I think y'all call me Sweet Sister Hopeful. I'm hopeful. I believe the best, but I'm not dumb.
Right.
And I was like, this dude.
He played me like a fiddle. Yeah. That's like the
But you're
hardest
sharing
realization.
information. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
That's why I felt compelled to go to the police, because I'm like, he's doing this.
Yeah.
And he's
a
like,
professional.
and then I called Mike. This is Will's longtime security guy. And I was like, Mike, what do I do? Mike gave me the advice. He's like, Sheree, they're always likable. I said, but Mike, I feel so dumb. Like, how could I like the dude? Like, how could I? He's like, they're always likable. They're charismatic, they're engaging, they're professionals. That's what they do.
Yes.
So wait a second. This is what we need to do, though.
But I've had clients that have had stalkers.
Well, give some red flags, though.
Well, wait a minute. Before you go into your stalkers, I have to share my little catfish story. Yeah,
Catholic girl.
We didn't know you was catfish.
I did. It was sort of like a catfish because this was before social media was popping. And this was before I was married. So this was almost like decades ago. So what happened was I dated this guy.
You wasn't catfish.
No,
you was goldfish.
No. You're so stupid. I was goldfish. But listen, I met this guy. We had a mutual friend, and I mean like a reputable mutual friend. And, they gave me this great description of him, because we met at a party, and he was, nice and easy on the eye. I was like, okay. We exchanged numbers. We started dating. I did not do as much as my homework because the friend introduced you.
The publicist. It's the way they get in, right?
Yes. So he plays golf on the weekends. He's an investment broker. Oh, beautiful portfolio, right? I just never saw it. So we're dating, and he was not likable, sweet guy, so nice. Like, oh my gosh, I couldn't say anything wrong about him.
Yes.
Then it just slowly morphed into something different. I had this investment, because he's this investment broker.
Right.
I'm like, okay, give me $20,000 and I can, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now, this was like at least a good year of dating him. A year? It was a year day. That's how good he was.
Wow.
Yes, my husband saved me because I probably would have been out there
Lord.
on the corner selling peanut chews for a living.
That is crazy.
But yes, and
so he wanted money.
Yes. By the time we broke up, I probably gave close to $40,000 in investment money.
Did you get it back?
I didn't get it back. What? My mother was like, listen here. You gonna give my daughter back her money or I'm gonna bust you I was like, well,
That's terrible.
Yes.
Wow.
So,
He was a con. He's a good old fashioned con
Oh my gosh!
artist.
And I found out later, like from the friends that he introduced me
Scary
during the
out there.
relationship.
It's hard in
I'm
these
like, yeah, he
streets.
told me you used to live with me. Like what? He used to live with me. Like everything was a lie.
That is crazy.
And I'm far from stupid. I feel like I'm one savvy, street educated.
Right.
You
Yes.
know, I got the best of both worlds.
you
type
better
of
than
chick.
Pip and Ken.
Yeah. So I'm like, how did this happen to me? It was a disaster
Yes.
until finally he got locked up.
Wow.
We broke up. It was like, goodbye.
crazy.
Forget my number. Yes. I mean, all my friends was like, he's the best.
That's crazy.
He had us awful.
So let me ask you, because we think that, you know, we're three chicks that are kind of savvy
Yes.
and we got our wits about us.
Yes.
So this is, and I don't mean to toot our horn, I don't mean this arrogantly, but if we can get duped, I think a lot of women can get duped.
Absolutely.
So
No one's exempt.
no one's exempt.
No
So
one.
what are some red flags? Like now, knowing what you know now, looking back, what can we give our viewers to take away? Like, what are the red flags? What was your red flag?
Well, for me, is that
Or just in general. You know what I mean? Now
Just-
knowing what you know.
I think people that have a high net worth, people that have a lot of money, do not talk about it. People that have a lot of money, they might talk about it to their friends or to their family or whatever. But when you are talking to somebody who is pretty much a complete stranger or somebody you just started dating, people are not going to talk about money the way people have plagiarized their bank accounts with me.
That is a mess.
Yes, anybody talking about some real money, trust me, they don't have it.
Wow, yeah.
And if they asking for yours, they definitely ain't got run, Forrest, run.
I think that's a great. Don't give them no money.
Nothing. Listen, don't let them move in your house. Don't give them no money. Don't let them drive your car. None of that. Because if he's coming into the situation, he should have worked all that out before
I'm
he got
telling
to you. You should just be an addition, not a crutch.
Yes.
Ooh, that's scary. Do not give them any money, even if you know bank
I don't even
accounts are locked
think I bought
up.
Damon a meal for the first year.
Don't even give them no booty until you sure. I mean, don't you hold tight on to everything that belongs to you until you know for sure that that's the one.
They just gonna be clenched up.
I don't care. At least you left with what you came with. All right.
No cookies, ladies.
No,
Yes, don't give them the cookies. Lord, yeah, it's scary out there. It really is. I think for me, you know, first of all, you have to do your due diligence. It doesn't matter how they come to you. Mm-hmm. You know, you still have to be on guard because there are a lot of crazy people out there.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy people, and people have access to you because of all the social media. They can immediately get to you.
Right.
So yeah, you just got to do your homework. We want to read.
And you know, I think it's obvious how common it is because MTV has a show.
Yes,
called Catfish.
Catfish.
So
Go figure.
hello,
Absolutely.
It is a lot of people perpetrating.
There's a lot of people. We want to
Did I just age myself because I said perpetrating?
perpetrating. You perpetrating? No,
perpetrating
if you say fraud, there you go.
Just don't say sharp. Sharp at age you like
sharp.
30 years.
Or solid. Solid.
Anyway, y'all know what I meant.
We'll give some statistics. Where am I? I can't read them because I ain't got my glasses. Somebody got to read these. Yeah, we want to talk about some, online scams. So just our viewers can kind of be abreast.
Okay.
Now I done got the one about the one from Nigeria, Africa, child, and the bank accounts are frozen, and you just give me a little bit of money.
Was on vacation, and someone robbed us, and all we need is a little bit of money.
But how about it comes from a friend? Because they hack into your computer.
Yeah.
So I got it from Simone. I'm like, first of all, dummy, Simone and LL Cool J, I'm going to be the last person they reach out to.
Right.
Because they stranded in England and need some money.
They did that with one of Jet's classmates when he was in kindergarten.
Oh,
And the
wow.
mom and dad, they had their names. It came from their email. We need money. We're in Australia. I'm like, I hope you get home.
I'm gonna pray for you.
Let's talk about it when you get
But you know
back
what
to
you
the
can even
States.
do is you can, even though it says a name, right? You'll see like with Simone, it said Simone Smith, but then you'll click on it and you can see the email address. So make sure
I
you
don't
pay
even click on
attention.
it.
Well, no,
listen.
you don't click. You just kind of hover over it and it'll tell you exactly.
right.
Yeah, and then you
Yeah.
know it's spam. You know it's foul. And you need to change your password when that happens. Go ahead, Diane. Read them some statistics.
Okay, the top 10 internet scams that you all need to be aware of, so you not catfished looking crazy all up on 106 in Park. Online auctions. Anybody offers you something, misrepresents,
I ain't
undelivered
seen that
goods.
one yet. An auction.
General merchandise. So you are buying something online
And just
from
don't
an
come.
unknown entity,
Yeah.
some Chinese company. It looks all good. You give them your credit card and nothing shows up.
Wow.
Fake check scams. Who knew that? People still writing bad checks?
That's crazy.
But people still falling for people who write bad checks.
If you can.
Right? Nobody write checks for nothing. So Nigerian prince.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, you stranded in Nigeria, you need some money. Lotteries. So asking winners to pay before claiming their non-existent prize.
See? Don't give no money.
Advance fee loans. So you request a fee from consumers in exchange for a promised personal loan. You need some money? I'm gonna give you $10,000. All you got to do is wire me $1,500,
Right.
and then it's gonna be in your bank account tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Don't fall for the okey doke.
That's crazy. That's a pyramid scheme.
Right.
Via
So phishing. We talked about emails, pretending to be somebody that
Right.
you're not. Prizes and sweepstakes. Who falls for that?
Older
who falls?
people.
Oh, they
Older
do.
people, you're right.
Shame on them.
Yeah, they
How you
right.
gonna
still
take?
waiting for Patrick. When he had to come to the door.
That's crazy. I think there is
The sweepstakes.
the sweepstakes. Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
I think there is a special place in hell for people that defraud older people out
Me
of their
too.
life. This is
me
it.
too.
This is all they have. Can you
Yes.
imagine?
I know. It's
Yes.
devastating. Well, they wouldn't get $5 out of my
Terrible.
daddy.
Yeah,
Because he's
those
pretty
specials
frugal.
that come on, what is it, American Greed or whatever? Oh my
Yeah,
God.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
heartbreaking.
It is.
Child.
Yeah, it is. Two more. Internet access services.
Internet access.
So
which-
they misrepresent the cost of internet service. You want to go on Wi-Fi. You're somewhere, you need to go on Wi-Fi. Put in your credit card. The first 10 minutes is free or whatever. Bam.
Well, everybody
You just
does
got
that.
tipped.
Airlines
you just got
do it.
tipped. You just got tipped. And then investments. False promises of gains on investments.
Lord have mercy.
I have one.
You
Yeah.
have
Because
one.
I get a lot of calls with this because my youngest is pursuing to be an actor. The people who say, your
packages.
kid in the mall,
I got
oh,
that.
that's so cute. If you give me $6,000, I can get him
Yeah.
signed and get on TV. And I have gotten at least 3 calls in the last month.
Isn't
Like,
that
is
crazy?
this true? I'm like, you don't pay nobody.
How do they get your
Yeah.
number?
No, in the mall they approach them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, your kid's
You
so
said
cute.
you got
ever
3
thought about-
calls.
No,
What I'm
my
saying-
friends like,
Oh,
does
got
this
you.
make sense? Because I know
Got
you
you.
know about that industry.
Right.
Don't pay nobody to get your child
That's
on
right.
TV.
No.
If you have a manager or an agency, they take a cut after they make your child
After they
some
make
money.
some money.
You don't pay out of pocket.
That's a
before.
good tip because
Right.
that scam has been around
Yeah.
for a long
years.
time.
Yeah.
When I was acting many
Before I
years
had
ago.
children.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When
They was
Ryan
doing
was
that.
doing print ads, I was
Yeah,
getting them
so
calls.
we know.
So that's another one. That ain't the business.
And then they hype you up, make you think you special.
yes.
Like you got it.
yeah, he's a star.
Beware, ladies.
Yeah.
Beware.
Yeah.
So I think that's our show. I think this was a good one. And I hope that we gave the viewers some, some takeaways, some tips to kind of protect yourself, to guard
Yes.
yourself. Just be smart. And ladies, we always do this. We always talk ourselves out of our discernment and our intuition. Go with that. If you have that gut feeling, go with that gut feeling. Do your homework. April, give a tip. You're going to close us out. And if y'all want to see April host a show,
No.
please text, tweet. She can be found across all media platforms.
That's Diann Valentine. Oh, yes. No, well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We hope you enjoyed our show. I am April Daniels. You can find me across the board on all social media. And I have my friend here, Diann, and
Yes.
she'll fill you in.
I'm Diann Valentine. Stay up with me, talk to me, and no matter what you do not forget that name, Lewis Seals.
And Sheree. Stop laughing and get
And you can find me across all media platforms. And y'all, listen, I need some advocates. These heifers exchanged the purple memo and left me out. That's why I ain't matching
That's because
tonight.
she told us she's not matching with us.
Right.
No more.
I didn't say that.
We say, okay.
From producers Maria Menounos, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, Kevin Undergaro, and the entire BHL crew, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us at info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I'm your BHL announcer, Scipio. Instagram me at Planet Scipio. Thank you for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.